Stay, Play, Talk, a peer-led intervention. Stay, Play, Talk is a highly effective strategy that uses a system of peer-mediated interventions that involves an adult training peer buddies in the classroom to help with social delays. The goal is to help with the frequency of meaningful social interactions while minimizing the need for adult support. The Stay, Play, Talk is all-encompassing, it uses multiple interventions, and it's combined in one easy and convenient training package for the teacher. Benefits of Stay, Play, Talk are helping to form adequate social communication in children while they're learning to form sustainable social relationships. In education, we're an all-inclusive environment, and children make up the majority of the classroom. Therefore, the greatest asset in the room is teaching the children how to implement the interventions. We're going to do this by using peer buddies. Key components are peer proximity, prompting, reinforcement, and initiation. Stay, Play, Talk is a positive extension of social interaction using evidence-based strategies. Now, it's a critical intervention to enhancing the social and educational outcome of children perhaps with autism, speech and language delays, and also social anxieties in an all-inclusive setting. First is integrated playgroups. It's where an instructor has 3 to 5 children in a group and they're working on communication, they're guiding the social interactions, and they're helping their child express their imagination. Next is peer buddy. This is the core of Stay, Play, Talk. It's a 1-to-1 ratio where students are taught to stay with their friend during the time. They're going to play in the same area or with similar toys, and then they're going to talk all the way through the playtime so that you encourage their social interactions. Now, in the group-oriented, it is as specific behaviors are grouped together to help encourage play, and then siblings as agents is essential during COVID-19. It's where you teach the sibling how to facilitate by staying with their sibling, playing with them, but also helping them guide through those meaningful interactions in a variety of learning environments to allow for play and social interaction. The first item is targeting and collecting a baseline. So I work in a child development lab where I have a 1-to-1 ratio. I have a teacher for every student. So this is practical for me. However, in a regular educational setting, you're going to need an additional paraprofessional or an instructor to help you do those 3 10-minute observations with anecdotal reports. So you're going to go through and you're going to record the frequency in which a child kind of plays or talks with other children and how long that they do that, and then look for children who are isolated that could benefit from the 1-to-1 peer buddy. The second step is selecting the peer buddies. In the child development lab, we want to make sure that the children do have a slight interaction. They are playing with similar toys or materials, and they also have a similar skills and interests, so things that could connect the two of them. And then during large groups and small groups, how much adult interaction do they need? Now at the high school level, I do use this in my classroom in adult living. To get all of the information about the similarities, I use a Google form and then I match my students together, analyzing that data. The third step is training the children to participate. I believe that you train all of the students, not just the students that will be the peer leaders, but you train everybody to make sure that they understand the importance of being a peer buddy. We're also going to introduce the strategies. Now, children in the lab, they can't read, so we're going to utilize pictures. However, the high school students still use the pictures. You're going to provide examples of how to do the interactions. You're going to model how you're going to interact with one another, and then you're going to provide the child with an opportunity to practice. Most of the time I allow my staff, they are stationed at each one of the sections, and they're kind of helping monitor that Stay, Play, Talk and doing the guided instructions if necessary. The fourth step is implementing and collecting progress monitoring data. Of course, data drives all of our decisions. However, in my classroom, a lot of times whenever I step back and I look to see the interactions that the peer buddy has created, it's most beneficial just to watch them during free play time and record their progress. One of the more difficult things is how do you do positive reinforcement for whenever the child has performed the strategies for both children involved. The other type of action is providing feedback for the peer buddies whenever you notice that they need more additional instruction or they need to be doing a little bit better job of staying, playing, or talking with their friends. The Stay Play Talk student worksheet is a multicultural representation of a visual imagery of how to make sure that you're doing the interactions appropriately with your peer buddy. So children use a sticker to mark if they stayed, played, and talked to their friend during the guided free play. When selecting an evidence-based practice, reviewing the data is essential. The two articles featured here provide a table representation of how the target child or the TC interacted with the peer buddy or the PB. Now the training took place after the baseline was collected, and you can see after the 7 days of baseline collection, there is a break. On day 8 is when the training occurred. After the training, the amount of interactions counted increased dramatically. It also has days of up and down, as all children interventions do. You can see a rise in the effectiveness and how students interact and relate to one another through communication tallies in the classroom. I do want to caution you that all of the studies featured come from an early childhood education classroom. In addition, the data collected was from a paraprofessional administrating a questionnaire to a child, and as we all know, children change their answers based upon their daily emotions. You're probably asking yourself, as a regular education teacher, how do I sit back and gather the data needed in my classroom by myself? Also, how do I fit free play into my crowded and required schedule? And will the benefits actually create dramatic changes that I would want to implement Stay Play Talk in my classroom? And one of the most major situations is what happens if a student doesn't want to participate? And then how do I collect and evaluate the data quickly so I can impose changes or make shifts in the schedule? From an administrative standpoint, Stay Play Talk helps us develop relationships with all children. We're going to be teaching our children how to interact with others who may or may not have a disability, and just simply understanding how to communicate, which communication is essential for our social emotional health and relationships, especially helping those who are perhaps at risk for social delays. From an administrative standpoint, Stay Play Talk is practical, approachable, and accessible. As an administrator, school climate and culture is essential to building a core foundation for your school. Using Stay Play Talk strategies, we can gain social skills, mastery of understanding and demonstrating while engaging in positive behaviors, which is the goal for all of our students. It also increases efficiency in classroom tasks and provides early intervention for those with disabilities or social communication delays. As an administrator, you must look at statistics that have a significant impact on your school. For example, approximately 1 in 54 children have a version of autism. In addition, 1 in 6 children have a type of developmental disability. You want to look for those interventions that are going to reach all of your students and help everyone succeed. From an administrative viewpoint, Stay Play Talk is all-encompassing. It also allows the teacher to customize how and when to use the intervention. It also can be used along with other interventions that might be required in the student's IEP. From an educator encountering the training, I found that it helped me learn better ways to encourage development and communication and social interactions to empower all of my students to do their best work in the classroom. This concise and brief worksheet on implementing Stay Play Talk in early childhood classrooms provides an overview, and it also guides individuals through steps of application. This activity focuses on the pre-instructional worksheet for an educator to implement Stay Play Talk through 11 effective questions. Number 1 is identifying your target market for who would benefit from the Stay Play Talk initiative. Number 2 is identifying the peers who show the ability to be a peer leader. Number 3 is pairing together the target children and the peer to create the best partnership. Number 4 is training all individuals involved in the initiative. Number 5 is marking out the locations or the activities where Stay Play Talk will be utilized in the classroom. Number 6 is providing the prompts, such as the one found in the center of Stay Play Talk, to the children. Where will they be featured around the room, or what locations can they be found in for the centers? Number 7 is from the educator's standpoint. How long will you go before you interact with the peer interactions? Or what are your standard procedures in observing for data? Number 8, what are your prompts or visuals that you're going to use while collecting data or implementing Stay Play Talk? Number 9, how often and perhaps where in your schedule could Stay Play Talk take place? Number 10, who else might be present during the Stay Play Talk initiative? For example, will there be additional children in the centers, or will there be other adults who could perhaps facilitate or act as an interventionist when necessary? And number 11, how do you handle other children requesting to join in the peer buddy group or who may disrupt the Stay Play Talk initiative through the interactions going from one-to-one to perhaps one to several? This worksheet helps teachers and student teachers plan for how to implement the instructions and prevent possible conflicts. To create my project, I used 6 different articles. I recommend you looking at Article 3, The Effects of Peer-Led Interventions, Stay Play Talk on Social Skills and Students with Autism. Also at the bottom, you'll find a link for the original website for Stay Play Talk procedures.